Hey guys, Show here. I'm doing an update on my Blizzard icespike ice shard build. We're currently level 85, hardcore. We've been playing this character since level 50, pretty much. Have we been having a blast? Gonna go through what to do after you reach around level 80 plus. You should be in tier 4 and start doing dungeons. The dungeons you want to do for most efficiency is 3 levels higher than yourself. After that you don't gain extra XP, you only level your glyphs faster. So it's not worth it. Drink a potion here. Gonna go through the build after the run. So we have the best of both worlds here. We have great AoE, great single target, great mobility. We're also okay against bosses. Not sure if there's a boss on this level, but hopefully can showcase how to defeat bosses quickly. So I believe this is level 88. Currently I'm 85, so this is perfect. They are 3 levels higher than myself, and we get all the bonuses we can get. So if you go any higher, you actually don't get any bonuses. Here's what's kind of bad about nightmare dungeons, like this mid room between the first round and second round. You actually don't get any XP here, or loot, so you just want to do that one as quick as possible. And then there's also the travel time to the nightmare dungeon, which kind of sucks, but that's gonna be fixed for next season, so that's great. Hopefully they will add an actual benefit for doing higher dungeons, like more density the higher level they are compared to you, or something more beneficial than what's currently on. Suppressor was kind of nasty. We kind of have to jump in, we can't shoot Blizzard from far. This was kind of a big pack here. So the strongest thing in this build is actually Frost Nova. So let's not do this event. We jump in, Frost Nova, freeze everything, vulnerable everything, and then they melt. And against smaller like trash monsters, they actually got insta wiped. So you can just telestomp with Frost Nova and kill trash monsters. Like here, boom, Frost Nova, they die. And if they don't die, you shoot some extra ice shards. And they should be cleared quickly. Chandelier Shrine is my favorite for sure. What am I missing? Probably up here. So jump in, Frost Nova, shoot it down very quickly. Nice and easy. I believe there's a boss in this one. So up down there probably. Kind of been running around here. Yeah, there's a boss. Perfect. Can showcase how the boss is and how we deal with bosses. I got staggered here. It's very nice. We have two unstoppable effects. Teleport, which has pretty low cooldown, and Flame Shield. Flame Shield has 13 seconds, Teleport has 7.3. Alright, here's the boss. So what we want to do is stagger it. So we teleport, see the stagger meter behind his life. Because Frost Nova. Blizzard staggers pretty quickly. Plus your second Frost Nova teleport. He's almost staggered. You're gonna see he's gonna melt soon. Another Frost Nova. Now he's staggered. Now he's gonna melt. So the reason we melt him is because we have the control. So when the boss is staggered, he's considered frozen, stunned, and immobilized. So we actually deal 153 multiplier damage on him. That's why he melts. This is probably gonna get nerfed though. There was some person doing Lilith in like 1 second with because of this. So use it while you can, I think. Okay, let's level our glyph here. So level 15. You want to level all the glyphs you want till 15. That's when they get the most bonus. They're gonna get 1 extra range, so you can actually utilize them on a lot of paragon boards. So stop at 50. 15. Alright, let's go over the gear here. Gonna go to my stash as well. Show you some options if you don't have. Okay. So helm. This is one of the key. This is the best defensive aspect. So get this one for sure. You can put it on either pants or helm here. Currently have it on a helm. On the helm we definitely want cooldown reduction. And we want the second best is lucky hit chance while you have a barrier. And then third best is life, which this is missing. Life at this level, we're gonna give you the most defensive boost since we're playing hardcore. It's super important. Sadly, we don't have it here, but armor would be the 4th best roll. This one is pretty good. Raiment of the Infinite. So every time we teleport, we suck the monsters in and we stun them. So we're much safer when we teleport in and want to Frost Nova. We also stagger the boss faster with this one. If you don't have the raiment, I would recommend armor like this, like a 4 defensive stat, life, total armor is great, damage reduction, and this imprint is pretty good. You have 20% increased crowd control duration while enemies are unstoppable. So that will help you stagger the boss faster and apply frozen faster. And also you get 50% increased damage to them. So against the boss, this would be really good against the boss when he's not staggered. So on gloves, we're looking for 4 eye shards Um, crit chance, the second best. Then we're looking for attack speed and lucky hit. This ability is pretty good too. Lucky hit. We have stacked a lot of lucky hit, and every time we lucky hit, we get more mana. So this one is pretty juicy. Here we have put deep freeze. Ice spikes have increased radius explosion. Very good when we're using blizzard. On our pants, we're using this one. I think is a must if you have it. The Frost Nova again addition charge. The cooldown will be higher though, but is worth it in the end. Just allows you to have a smooth game style. You tele something, a pack, and then you Frost Nova and they explode. You apply vulnerable and freeze them. On the pants, we're looking for life. Life is your greatest one. Dodge is great too. Armor and damage reduction. Since we are playing hardcore once again. On boots, we're looking for move speed. That's your key. This sadly has kind of low move speed. Frost Nova plus 4 skill and plus 4 skill teleport would be the third best, and then dodge. And also on the implicit, plus 3 max evade charges I like a lot. So that would be the ideal one. The imprint, we have your lucky hit chance is increased by 18% while you have a barrier. We always have a barrier. Pretty much always. Here I've put ice spikes on. So this is the key to activate the blizzard build. I'll put it here on the weapon. I think if you're not doing like super high tier nightmare dungeons, I think going for a wand and an orb is the best, because we're gonna get cooldown reduction on the orb. And the wand gives you 15% lucky hit chance, so the stats on an wand and an orb is better. However, if you're doing really high nightmare dungeons, you actually want very high ice spike damage. This is quite low, so if you put it on a two-hander, you're gonna get the double value. So in this case it would be 1,700, around that number with this, and you could go up to 3,000 if you have a really good roll. You have to find an ancestral version of the glacial aspect to reach those numbers. So that would be ideal. Also, a staff, like casting Blizzard, is affected by attack speed, so the more attack speed you have, the faster you can cast. So the wand version can cast faster because it has 1.2 attacks per second. While a staff, let's see if I have a staff here. So a staff has 1 attack per second. So you would cast Blizzard slower in that case. So if you're just doing lower content, I would prefer to use a wand and an orb for sure. But higher content, endgame, maybe a staff is better. So here we have an orb. We're looking for cooldown reduction. That's the best. Crit chance is good. Lucky hit while you have a barrier. Resource generation. Those 4 would be the best, I would say. We have imprinted eye shards pierce 4 times. I want to get rid of this, and I think there's some choices to have. Currently I don't have any mana issues except versus bosses. And something we could do is take this out. So we have imprinted conceited here, so we could put conceited here and put let's see which one is called, this one, the prodigy ring. So every time we use a cooldown we get mana, so that would help in if you have mana issues. So I don't think the eye shards pierce is that necessary. It was better earlier when we were actually using eye shards more often, around level 50, 60. At this point we can actually take this one out. So this is the best imprint for resource management, so Umbral. So every time we shield something, we get mana, and it's gonna skyrocket your mana. You can pretty much sustain your mana with just this ring. Especially if you have resource generation on your rings, which is your primary stat you want. Look for resource generation, and they only drop, this stat only drops on ancestral rings. Your second best choice would be life. Life is always great in hardcore. Then crit chance, and then either crit damage or vulnerable damage. So this version has hard time stacking crit damage, since we're not using the burning aspect or enchantment to stack crit damage from the paragon board or the skill tree. So if you would play, let's say you play softcore, you could remove flame shield, add the firebolt here, so you would apply burn, or meteor is another choice, and we could pick this one up for more crit damage. And also in the paragon there's some crit damage nodes for fire, so we would be able to apply fire damage. But since we're playing hardcore, I feel like the flame shield enchantment is a must. So crit damage is hard to stack, and to really get into the high numbers of damage, you want to stack vulnerable damage and crit damage. So we currently just have the base of 50% crit damage, even though we have high crit chance. But once we're getting some new gear and more paragon points, we're gonna get the crit damage up a bit, which is gonna skyrocket our damage. We have decent vulnerable damage right now, but low crit damage. Crit damage can be rolled on wand, by the way, or if you're using a staff, so that would be ideal. Our second ring we had conceited, so like I said, we could change conceited, put it here, remove eye shards, and add more mana. So that's your first priority. Solve the mana issue. Once you solved it, you can focus on damage. On our necklace we have the control. I think this is a must to put on the necklace, because we get 1.5 times better imprint if we put it in the necklace. And this is what will allow you to melt the mob bosses. And on the necklace, the must skill is +2 all defensive, and if you upgrade it, it's gonna become free. The second best would be cooldown reduction. If you have these two, you're kinda Gucci. You're done with your amulet. Third best would be, I think mana cost reduction is not that needed, but it's nice. Move speed is always nice. I think I would like move speed as the third one. And also, let's see what it's called. There's a really good one here. Hoarfrost. So if you have +2 to Hoarfrost, that would be the ideal amulet. Probably that as your third option, but good luck finding that. If you do, must feel good. Let's go over the skill tree. Oh yeah, the enchantments. We're still using eye shards, and we're still using flame shield. Our skill tree here. 2 on whatever here, we're not gonna use a base skill. Probably put on firebolt in case you want to switch for more damage and crit. And if you're playing softcore, you can use the firebolt enchantment. Max eye shards, enhanced eye shards, destructive eye shards, so this will allow us to reapply vulnerable. We just do 1 eye shard on a single target and he gets vulnerable again. That's very nice. The only way we can apply vulnerable right now is Frost Nova and this destructive eye shards. Then we put 1 into flame shield, more speed, while Flame Shield is active, and more mana regen. So if I pop this, I can actually sustain. I can, if I do this one and I cast Blizzard continuously, I can actually cast Blizzard continuously because of the resource regeneration we have on the rings. It's very nice. One on teleport, one on enhanced teleport, one on shimmering teleport. If you have extra points, I would recommend putting the extra on teleport, or if you wanna change up the build, like it's all about speed. We get one extra from the raiment armor here. Here we haven't put anything on glass cannon. In softcore I would max this, in hardcore no way. We have one in elemental attunement. I don't think it's worth maxing this, even though it's very good, because it only happens every 10 seconds, and I think one is just enough for that. This procs every 10 seconds pretty much for this build. Ice armor, one, I believe, yeah, just one on these. One in this for mana regen, and one in shimmering ice armor. So every time we freeze something, we shoot the ice shard, which is great. We have max frost nova. This is pretty much our best kill. It's so nice. You just tell us something in middle of the pack, and you frost nova, and everything melts. And also what's nice is if you put more points on frost nova, the cooldown goes down. So we only currently have a 13-second cooldown, and we have 2 charges. Here I have max precision magic for more lucky hit chance. One here. 3 into protection. You could go only one here, which is probably better. I probably should do this. And 3 into mana shield. Now we can spend our mana very freely, so pretty much have this all the time. 1 into icy veil. Max this to apply shield faster and make the enemies frozen. That's the key to this build. Max snap freeze, freeze them even more. You only want one on Blizzard still. The Blizzard doesn't do any damage. What deal the damage is the ice spikes. So don't put any more than one. However, we do want, this one is kinda useless as well, but this is what we want. When you cast Blizzard, you increase the duration, so that's nice. We max permafrost for more damage against elites. The trash monsters die instantly, so more damage is great. Hoarfrost, very good. When they are frozen, 18 times multiplier. Whenever it says X, that's a multiplier. So those kind of abilities does the most damage. Here as well, we pretty much apply vulnerable all the time, so that's a 12x multiplier. And here's how we generate our mana. So they are vulnerable all the time almost, and we generate mana with lucky hits. We have put one into avalanche. This just helps with the mana. I don't think any of these are any good. Shatter, the problem with shatter is if you freeze something, you pretty much kill it immediately, and the shatter won't happen. It only happens if you freeze something and you don't kill it, then when the freeze actually expires, you explode. So shatter would be maybe better in higher tier content, but here we're melting everything in 1 second almost, so shatter is not worth it. I'm also considering this for just more damage reduction. So 20% damage reduction, and if we crit, we take even less damage, so that's actually a pretty good one to have. Let's go over the paragon tree. So it's the same as the previous video. If you haven't checked it out, I went through what you want to do from level 50 to 80. So this is for the 80 plus once you reached endgame pretty much. We have control, we want to level everything to 15, all the glyphs we want. Gone this way, we took some dexterity nodes for more damage here. So this is what keeps our barrier up next paragon icefall. So pretty much everything is frozen, we kill them, we get a barrier. That's how we sustain our barrier. You want shield application here to freeze the monsters faster. This is the only way to get it, pretty much, from the paragon tree. We have taken more reduction to shield, gone up here. So our first glyph here, we're using exploit, level to 15, so we can actually utilize it pretty nicely here. We put some extra dexterity here as well for more vulnerable damage. Next node, we are in Frigid Fate, and here we have put, let's do this instead, winter. This is not the most optimal place to put it, but this is for now, this is just temporary. Don't feel encouraged if you can't utilize these for the bonus. We're pretty much only using this for the bonus, so we need 25 dex. If you can't put these glyphs into or if you can't get the additional bonus, feel free to use other glyphs that you can actually use temporary, but don't level them. So what I would recommend is like Adept, I was using. Master skills have 20% increased area. Pretty nice. It doesn't work with the ice spikes, it doesn't increase the area for ice spikes, but it does increase the blizzard chill area, so it's pretty nice. I was also using this one, Unleash, because I had mana issues earlier. So this helps for early game as well, but don't level it because we're not gonna use it later. Unless you want to use it, that's up to you. Then you can level it. More vulnerable damage. Vulnerable damage is how we scale a lot of damage. And then we have gone down here, we're gonna put another glyph. So we're gonna put destruction here. It's also level 15. This is we're gonna focus a little more on crit now in the future. So that's how we're gonna scale our damage even more. And just take this one and then get the required ones. 25 dexterity. I think you pretty much need a level 15 glyph here to actually activate it. And then we're gonna go up here, take these nodes, go up here and continue to another board and then another board. I will link the build or the paragon board and the build in the description so you can check it out. Everything will be there. Oh yeah, I would say if you have temerity, I don't think it's worth using. Our icefall paragon will get our barrier up. That's how we're gonna get our barrier, and temerity has really bad stats overall. Like there's 4 really bad stats, 16 all stats not that great, potion drop rate not great, like hit, heal you, can be nice but not really great, healing received not really great. So I would not recommend using this in hardcore. It is quality of life, if you like that you can use it, but I would say this is so much better. And also we need to have the 2 charges of Frost Nova. Where else we're gonna put it? So I think maybe you could put it on boots and cut this, but I don't think it's worth it. Like look at these pants. If they had life, they are super useful for hardcore. Like we don't want to die. This is so much better, in my opinion. Oh yeah, we want red gems on our chest pieces, armor pieces, green gems on our weapons, and skulls on our jewelry. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this guide and the gameplay. If you did, go ahead and follow. I stream on twitch.tv/show if you want to see me live. We're trying to push for level 100 with this build. Been enjoying it so far a lot. Would definitely recommend this build. It's very safe and deals a lot of damage and it's fast. So very happy with the build. See you on the next one, guys.